What is up, you guys? It's Nat. Welcome to my video. Today I'm doing a bit more of a depressing celebrity CAS because I am doing a create-a sim of Chester Bennington. Now, for those of you who don't know, Chester Bennington was the lead singer of Linkin Park, and he passed away by suicide on July 20th of this year, 2017. And this CAS, I've done a tribute cast before to Tom Petty, who unfortunately passed away a couple weeks ago, but I mean, the difference is that, I love Tom Petty, but I really, really love Chester Bennington, and also, it's a bit more like, yes, Tom Petty was lost very suddenly, they both were, but it hits a bit more home when it's suicide, which is unfortunately how Chester passed away. And I'm gonna try not to cry. I mean, I don't think I'll cry, but Linkin Park was one of those bands I listened to while I was growing up. I'm 23 now. I probably started listening to them when I was about, I want to say 12 or 13, maybe even before that. So I've been listening to them for a majority of my life, really. And they really helped me through some tough situations. Like, I battled depression when I was younger, and I still battle it every day. I don't know how open I've been about that, but I want to start being more open with you guys. So this is really going to be it's a celebrity cast, it's a tribute, but really it's to remember Chester and to kind of spread depression and suicide awareness, because it's a very sensitive topic. I will be providing links below for suicide hotlines. Please, if you ever feel that way, don't do it. I know it's hard, but when I was younger, I don't want to say, oh, like, my teenage years were rough, because obviously there's always someone out there who's had it worse than you. But I'm not going to say that I had the easiest time growing up. I was bullied, and, being LGBT, like, that didn't make anything better. And I lost my grandfather when I was I had just turned 13, I lost my grandfather, and it was the first major loss in my life, and I was very close to him, so it really, really hit home. And there were some points in my life where I wondered if I could keep going. And obviously, I feel like, you always hear about teens and they're stressed, and it seems like everyone has, a phase like that, but mine was that, I have depression. I got diagnosed. It took a while, just trying to understand myself what was going on. And finally, we had what would you call it? It was basically a depression screening at my school. And I guess I was a red flag. Saw the school therapist, wound up seeing my doctor, went and saw another therapist and found out, listen, you do have depression. It runs in the family. And it's one of these things where it's like, of course, a lot of people can get depressed. A lot of people can feel sad. But there's a difference when you just feel depressed and you are depressed. You actually have the illness, because it's something that's you can't control. I am so sorry, Wilfred just barked in the background. I was trying to get him to lay down for a nap so I could do this voiceover, because no one's home right now. And I guess he woke up and now he's playing with some toys, so pardon that. Being told that you have depression, especially at such a young age, I think I was officially diagnosed at about 16 or 17, probably 17. It's weird because, you're just like, oh, okay, this is something I'm gonna have to deal with for the rest of my life. It doesn't just go away. There is no cure. There are things you can do to learn how to cope with it and to try to keep your symptoms from, smacking you like a Mack truck, but it's something that will always be there. And for a while, I went to therapy. I learned about self-help. I got my first job. I went off to college, and frankly, that was so much better than high school, because high school, I was relentlessly bullied, but we're not going to talk about that in this video today, because that's a story for another time. But just know that I was bullied a lot in high school, to the point where some of it was indeed physical, and it wasn't good. So going off to college definitely helped a lot. Just getting out of the house and, being able to live on my own and being able to study something that I enjoyed, which was art, with other people who thought like me and loved art. That was really great. But then post-college, not being able to find a job right away, it took me about 8 months to find my first position. It took a toll on me. And I got really depressed last year around the holidays. It's hard, you guys. Those of you who have been diagnosed and have depression, deal with it. You'll know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's like you're doing so good, you feel like you're on top of the world, and then the next minute it's just like, what happened? So it's so hard to talk about this stuff, I feel like, because like, there's always gonna be people out there who don't get it. I'm not saying that if you don't have depression that you don't understand, but there are the people out there who are like, oh, my life is wonderful, I'm happy all the time. You need to want to be happy. And it's like, there are people like that who just don't get it. And it's like, it's not a lack of desire to be happy, because why would I want to be depressed like this all the time? Why would I want to be so miserable? Basically, guys, I guess the point that I'm trying to get across is that if you do have depression, or even if you are just depressed for a little while, and you start having these feelings of hopelessness and being lost, and you start feeling suicidal, please just know that you are not alone. And if you're someone who doesn't suffer, but you know someone who does, because more than likely you do, just be understanding and be compassionate. If you know someone who is suffering from depression, please just be compassionate. Please just understand that it's not something that this person can control, and it's not a light switch. They can't just choose to turn it off. I mean, that's really all I can say to you is please just be compassionate to your friends and your family, the people around you, especially when they're in that dark of a place. They really need someone to be there, even like if you don't understand it. Just, like, fake it till you make it. Just pretend that you do. Just be compassionate and try to be understanding. If you really can't wrap your head around it, then please try to educate yourself. I mean, it's hard. It's not a light switch. That's the best thing I can say. Sorry guys, Wilfred has joined me and now he's like chewing on my floor. Wilfred helps me stay not depressed. Stay not depressed. Helps me fend off depression. Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, if you are feeling depressed, actually dogs and cats, like any kind of pet, even if you love fish, they are very good to have in the house. So if you're feeling lonely, you're feeling, sad, if you have an animal, go and cuddle it, and if you don't, go get one. But wow, didn't think I would talk so deeply about my own depression, but yeah, so like PSA awareness, just please be compassionate to people around you. You never know what they're going through. I know this past year has been like, it seems like it's just been a total 180. Like, people have always been rude, obviously, but like, it's just been so different. I think I've talked about that in the past video, like people just aren't compassionate anymore, and I don't know how strongly I have to express, like, just be nice to people. But yeah, so I mean, Chester and his music, Linkin Park, they helped me through some rough times in my childhood, my teenhood, and it was gonna be a dream come true. I was supposed to see Linkin Park in concert a week after Chester passed away. He passed away on July 20th, like I said. I was supposed to see him on the 27th. So I remember I was driving my car, Dan was in the passenger seat. We were going somewhere, and we were pretty close to the venue that we were going to see him at. And I heard his name on the radio, I turned it up, and it said Chester Bennington passed away, age 41. It seems like a self-inflicted, like suicide. Like, I think it was asphyxiation. I don't want to get too grim. I don't quite recall knowing what it was. I just remember hearing on the radio that he had passed away from suicide, and I was driving. I completely broke down. I had a meltdown. I started bawling. It was very emotional. We drove a little bit. I mean, I wound up being fine, but, I cried quite a bit when I heard. I was just in shock and disbelief. And like I said, I was supposed to see him in concert, like, a week after this. And, I've been listening to him for most of my life. And, it was just, it was shocking. And, if you guys know about this, then you know that his friend, Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, actually passed away from suicide at the age of 52 this past March. I believe on the 18th, which would have been like 2 days before Chester's birthday. And they were very close, and Chester was going through some other stuff. It kind of made sense that he commit suicide when he did, because he did pass on Chris Cornell's birthday. But yeah, so very depressing, and I've been wanting to do this cast of Chester for a while, and the day that I'm releasing it is Friday, the 27th of October. I'm releasing it today because Linkin Park is actually doing a memorial tribute concert to him, I believe over in LA, so obviously I couldn't go because that's on the outside of the country, which stinks. I'm also going to a Fall Out Boy concert, so that'll be interesting, but I wanted to release it today because I thought it was a very special day. I'm gonna get going because Wilfred's driving me crazy. He's very restless right now, and you can probably hear him playing with the wheels of my chair right now, so I'm gonna head out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Chester is available for download in the Sims 4 gallery. Just search hashtag ItsNat to find all my builds. Again, I know it sounds cliche, but suicide isn't the answer, and I'm going to be providing a bunch of links down below. Please, if you're in that kind of situation or you know someone who is, please seek help. And just please be compassionate. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.